This Jalen Brunson thing, is this a 2004 Nash level mistake for you yet? This Brunson thing to me is more inexcusable, more indefensible, and stupider because they could have had him for 4 for 55 before the season. They could have had him for 4 for 55 in January during the season. Holy shit.
Really quick, before I begin, if you guys can smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm, this seriously makes a huge difference to my videos and lets YouTube know to recommend this video to a brand new audience. So thank you so much for doing that, and let's begin. Hey everybody, welcome back to Sports 360. Well, New York Knicks point guard Jalen Brunson's play has been elite this first half of the season. He has helped the Knicks be competitive and has made MSG come alive again. In the latest Bill Simmons podcast, Simmons and Lowe were discussing who would make the East All-Star team, and they both agreed Jalen Brunson had to make the team. And this led to Bill Simmons making the call that the Mavericks' decision to not sign Jalen Brunson to an extension was the biggest mistake since letting Steve Nash walk in free agency back in 2004.
This Jalen Brunson thing, is this a 2004 Nash level mistake for you yet? That Dallas didn't keep him? Here's why I mentioned that. Now, obviously losing Nash for $60 million, there were some defensible pieces to that. He got his ass kicked in the playoff series that year. He had some back issues. I don't think anybody could have predicted the hand check rules and all the things that moved into Nash's favor. At the same time, it was fucking stupid not to keep Steve Nash.
And even no one could have predicted D'Antoni would come in and revolutionize the league.
You can't predict all that stuff. And yet, it was stupid not to keep Steve Nash, and they signed Eric Dampier, which is worse. This Brunson thing to me is more inexcusable, more indefensible, and stupider because they could have had him for 4 for 55 before the season. They could have had him for 4 for 55 in January during the season. Rick Brunson, you can go back and read this. Rick Brunson, who was handling it for his son, he said, quote, "I told the Mavericks once the season has started, there's no contract talk. And I went back against my word. In January, I thought he did enough where he deserved the extension. I said, hey, take the money, man. He wants security. He wants to live here. And they declined. And now I'm saying he's going to be an all-star in the East. And the Dallas is wasting this incredible Luka season where they have no second star, basically. I think it's almost worse to waste the Luka season. As great as Dirk was, the ceiling of him is just higher. If they had Brunson, you would say they're probably the favorite in the West or a co-favorite. So I don't think it's quite a Nash level mistake, but I'm ready to have the conversation, Lowe.
I mean, Nash is a two-time MVP.
I get it.
But I've said this before, all the focus on the extension that they didn't offer in a timely enough fashion, which would look like they would be the best contract in the NBA right now, or top 5 contract in the NBA from a team value perspective. I remember talking about this a month into the season with a smart person from another team. Said, well, Zach, forget about that. Why didn't they just pay him the max? Why didn't they just outbid the Knicks? That was an option too. And when the fallback plan is nothing, just pay him $30 million and hope he's worth it. And I was like, oh man, I didn't really think, I was thinking so much about 4 years, 55. I kind of forgot they could have just done that too.
I think it's a bigger mistake because it's less defensible. Losing Nash, obviously, and that's like a higher end mistake. This is I still can't believe they didn't see what they had. I think they overreacted because he wasn't that great in the 21 playoffs. And probably you can't predict what was going to happen down the stretch in the 22 playoffs. But holy shit. And then it was so funny. I'm sure you had Knicks fans in your life too who are like, what the fuck with this Jalen Brunson? Why are we paying him $110 million? And just having to have over and over the conversation of Jalen Brunson's good.
You guys haven't had a reliable point guard in forever. Derrick Rose has been really good for them, changed their season a couple seasons ago and they won 48 games. But you know that there's an expiration date and a minutes limit on Derrick Rose.
It's such a bummer because Luka is so special that I'm trying to maintain every good piece I have around that guy. And you just can't say that not keeping him. 4 for 55 is nothing. I mean, they're paying $16 million for Bertans, $17 for Tim Hardaway, 12 for Reggie Bullock, 11 for Dwight Powell, but the 16 for Brunson was the deal breaker. It's weird. It doesn't add up.
Somehow, someway, the Dallas Mavericks always seem to bungle things when it comes to NBA free agency. not only trying to add star players, but also trying to retain good players they already have. And this latest addition happened this offseason, when Jalen Brunson signed a 4-year, $104 million contract with the New York Knicks, leaving behind the Mavs, where he spent his first 4 NBA seasons. As Bill Simmons said, the entire situation makes zero sense. It's baffling and embarrassing. After making all those miscalculations with Brunson, the Mavs still could have made up for their previous mistakes by outbidding the Knicks in free agency in order to keep their second best player. The fans and media all witnessed what Brunson did in the playoffs last year against the Utah Jazz, the Phoenix Suns, the Golden State Warriors, and for most part, everyone agreed that Brunson was going to make around $25 million a year, thanks to his stellar performances. But the Mavs did sign 34-year-old JaVale McGee on a 3-year, $20 million contract with a player option. Oh my lord. Mavs owner Mark Cuban told Mark Stein after the Mavs season ended in the Western Conference Finals, "We can pay Brunson more than anybody." Really? Why didn't you then? Do you agree with Bill Simmons that this is a bigger mistake than letting Steve Nash go? As Zach Lowe said, Steve Nash was a 2-time MVP though. Let me know your thoughts, leave a comment down below. I'd be interested to see what you guys think. Alright guys, that wraps up today's video. If you like this video, please hit the like button, that really helps this video out. If you like this type of content, please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers!
At the same time, it was fucking stupid not to keep Steve Nash.